another payday from another quarterback. And Joe Burrow's contract is now officially loading. Joe Burrow and his agent are cackling over in the corner, probably harder than Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts ever did, as Justin Herbert gets the bag officially, $262.5 million over 5 years. So this puts him at $52.5 million a year, which is first in the league until Joe Burrow gets paid. Second most guaranteed money in history, with about 83% of his deal guaranteed, $218.7 million, which I think is a ton. Second largest deal in history behind Patrick Mahomes. And for a quarterback who is 25-24, so just a hair above 500 in his career, but he has the most completions, passing yards, and total touchdowns by any player in their first 3 seasons. So it might seem like a silly question because we know how the quarterback market is, but considering what Justin Herbert is right now as a quarterback, do you think the Chargers possibly overpaid him, paying him over $50 million a year, or you see this coming with this type of price range?
Oh, I mean, listen, after every single quarterback gets a big contract, we always ask the same question. Did what team overpay for this quarterback? And the answer is always no.
Right.
The way that the quarterback market is nowadays, it's you either pay them or they're gone. What's the alternative to not like? I get that the Chargers have kind of underperformed with Justin Herbert,
right?
But I can guarantee you that without Justin Herbert, they would be way underperforming. They would be one of the worst teams in the NFL if Chase Daniel was their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So the alternative to not paying Justin Herbert is not having Justin Herbert. So that means you kind of got to pay him. And it'll all, the quarterback market is kind of like leapfrog right now. It's
crazy.
Whoever's up for a new deal becomes the highest paid quarterback ever, right?
Yep.
And that'll even out because we saw a period of time in the NFL where, the guys like, Breeze, Brady, Roethlisberger, now Phillip Rivers all retired.
Yep.
And now they're getting replaced with some extremely young and talented quarterbacks. So eventually, in 5 to 10 years, this will all plateau and it won't be a game of leapfrog like it has been for the past few years.
Yeah, I definitely hope it plateaus. I kind of wonder at what point when it will, because, we're just talking before Mahomes' crazy deal. 5-6 years ago, if you made 30-35 million as a quarterback, that was great. You were up there in the rankings. Now we've damn near doubled it, over 40, 45, 50 million a year. Daniel Jones is getting 40 million a year. So we kind of were wondering, okay, what's Lamar going to get? What's Jalen Hurts going to get? We talked about the Herberts, who's now got paid. We talked about the Joe Burrows, who is going to get paid soon. Of course, I'm not going to say LA overpaid him. I didn't know if he was going to actually become, first in the league realistically in terms of getting paid, because of course Jalen Hurts has done more and people like to think that Lamar Jackson has done more, which I'm not saying that he hasn't. And of course, the other deals for quarterbacks that have been paid, at least in the upper echelon that we've been talking about with these paydays coming up. I think it was a few months back when I first got into the show and I was going over what Jalen was going to get paid, Lamar, Herbert, Burrow. And I want to say I had Burrow in that 300 million range. So they did fall just a bit short, but they do shorten the years up as well to get him that 52.5 million a year. I think the guaranteed money is what jumps out to me. 218.7 million guaranteed, which is over 80% of that deal. Second most guaranteed money in history, I think, just behind Deshaun Watson, who got his fully guaranteed, your boy, 230 million. It's kind of wild, to see him not necessarily get paid this much, but just to be actually the highest paid. And again, we know that it's a leapfrog, but when Jalen Hurts got it, I felt like it was respectable. When, of course, when Mahomes got it, very respectable. When Lamar got it, very respectable. But I guess it just shocked me kind of a little bit to see him actually come in this high on the on the yearly, or the average yearly value. 25-24 with his record, but I've always given Justin Herbert, and chime in at any time on this, I feel like we might agree, Justin Herbert dealing with, if Brandon Staley's out of there this year, he's going to deal, I think, with his third coach in 4 years or third coach in 5 years by the time it happens. Keenan Allen's been, hurt repeatedly. Austin Eckler's been hurt repeatedly. And we've seen some of the defense too. So I feel like the Chargers, and I feel like in a way I know the Chargers are seeing through that, and that's why they gave him such a hefty payday. You got any thoughts there?
Well, I don't know anybody that can deny it that Justin Herbert is a top 3 talent in the league, I believe. Pure arm talent, he's up there with Mahomes and Allen. And I
Definitely.
think those three guys have the three best arms in the NFL at the moment. Now, you obviously have to pair that with the it factor, right? And I put that
Mhm.
in quotations, but it is a very real thing.
It
And
is.
it's the
It
reason why
is.
Joe Burrow is about to be the highest paid quarterback of all time is because he has it. He has it. He just rises to the occasion
Yep.
time after time again. Now, he hasn't gotten over Mahomes yet, but one day he probably will.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what he needs to pair it with. So Justin Herbert is not going to be the highest paid quarterback of all time. Somebody that will leapfrog him. It will be first Burrow and then eventually other people as well.
Yeah.
But Herbert has the potential and the capabilities to be one of the best quarterbacks of this generation if he can
Yeah.
put it all together.
Right. And I know a lot of people say, I even quoted it 25 and 24 as a record, 0-1 in the playoff game, horrible blown lead. However much of that you want to attribute to Herbert, that's up to you. Um, Lord, I hate when I lose my train of thought right when I'm running into something. God, it just literally escaped my brain. We'll go ahead and move on, but it was, of course, something to do with Justin Herbert.